I'm absolutely joyful to share with you today some things in life that are embarrassing. Now, I certainly have embarrassing moments that I'm not going to share with you because they're too embarrassing to share. But we all have things that happen to us that are embarrassing. And sometimes it's good to just share it and appreciate it. I remember hearing a saying that said, embarrassment plus time equals humor. And so it's very fun to be at a point in your life where you can laugh at some of the embarrassing things that happened to you. So there was one time when I was 12, and I've always been musical. I've always been a piano player. At this time I was learning to play the organ, and they had asked me to play the organ in church for one of the meetings, and I was so nervous, so very nervous. But I did, I did it. I do what I'm asked to do, and an obedient child. And so I'm playing the song, the hymn, and the congregation is singing. And as I get to the end of the hymn, there's this little scripture that's supposed to be read. So the organist is supposed to end the hymn and then play a little bit of interlude of music, and then someone at the pulpit reads a scripture, the congregation repeats the scripture, and then the organist plays a little bit of closing line of music too, and that. So I was so nervous after the song was done, after the hymn was done, that I just put my head down. I was just like, oh, it's over. I made it through that hymn. And I forgot that interlude part. But I didn't hear any talking. So finally I looked up, and there's a young man standing at the pulpit just kind of staring at me saying, so of course he didn't say anything. He just was like, are you gonna do your part? And I quickly was getting my music ready to do that part. And before I could do my little interlude, he just said his scripture. And then I played my interlude before the audience could repeat. And then the audience repeated. And then I played my closing interlude. And I was just so embarrassed. So embarrassed. I can remember after it was done, my dad coming up to comfort me, and me just being so distraught that everybody in the room saw and heard me make such a terrible mistake. It wasn't a big deal. It was a big deal to me at the time as a 12-year-old. But hey, had I stopped playing, had I stopped accompanying, I would have changed my whole life. That's 40-something years ago. That would have been huge if I had just said, fine, I quit. That was too embarrassing. I'm not gonna, put myself out there again. So we got to learn to get through these embarrassing moments and realize that it's okay and we can make mistakes. And as I got a little bit older, I was 18 years old, and I was in a song and dance group. Now, those of you who know me in my adult life and being overweight probably go, you were in a song and dance group? But I was a senior in high school. I was in a song and dance group, and we got to go to Romania for 3 weeks during the summer after preparing all this music to share. Now, in Romania, the wall hadn't come down yet. It was in 1980, and I was still my plump self, but you know what? That was appreciated in Romania. The plumpness was appreciated. I was one of the most popular girls in the group, and it was just really fun. We all signed our autograph many times. They just thought we were somebody when we really weren't, but we enjoyed the experience. There was one time when we were performing on the stage. We did a Romanian song. We did a lot of pop songs. We even did a square dance just to show them a little bit of our culture. So I am wearing a leotard and tights and a skirt over my leotard because we kind of had some changes in costuming that we did. But I'm doing this square dance and my skirt falls off. Just the tie came undone and was down around my ankles, and I couldn't leave the square dance because I would have messed everybody up. You know how a square dance works, and there's 4 couples and you're all doing your thing, and I couldn't leave because I would mess everybody up. And it took about a minute for a girl off stage to realize what had happened and come in and take my place so that I could run off stage. That was just so terribly embarrassing. At least I had a leotard on, which made it better. But I will never forget when it was over that I got approached by a Romanian man, and he came up and he took my hand and he put my hand in his, and he said, "You are very beautiful, very beautiful." And I was so embarrassed. But you know what? It's a time in my life where you can go, I don't know any of these people, and it's okay. It's okay to do things that are a little bit maybe embarrassing, but mistakes are okay. Mistakes make us human, and things that we do that are, embarrassing and we wish that we hadn't done them, it's just part of life. And we need to realize that and be flexible. Making mistakes is also good because we learn from them. So I like to say this, and I'll probably say it a few more times. Trying to get from here to here could be a straight line, but that straight line isn't very common. It's more likely that we're going to have a wavy line, make mistakes, and find our way to our destination. And that's okay. Make mistakes along the way, get embarrassed along the way, admit that that's okay, we're okay, and enjoy the journey. So, learning to love myself, hope you are too. Be absolutely joyful and have a wonderful day.